For 20 years, the little monk tried to make everyone love him, and it almost killed him. But that's not the strange part. The strange part is that everyone in the monastery believed he was the happiest monk there. Everyone except one person. One old monk who refused to even look at him. Every time the little monk bowed, the old monk simply walked away. No smile, no greeting, nothing. And that was strange because everyone else adored him. So why did the one monk everyone respected most refuse to even acknowledge him? The little monk became obsessed with finding out. He decided there had to be a reason. Maybe he simply wasn't kind enough. So he became kinder. One morning at breakfast, only one steamed bun was left. Another monk reached for it, and the little monk just smiled. "You take it." That night, his stomach growled so loudly he couldn't sleep, but he smiled anyway, telling himself that tomorrow the old monk would finally notice. He didn't. A few nights later, after most of the monks had gone to bed, a young monk asked him to clean the kitchen alone. "Sure," he said. 5 minutes later, he saw that same monk outside, laughing with friends. For 1 second, anger flashed across his face, but he forced another smile and told himself it was good karma. The old monk walked past, still without looking at him. Weeks passed, and the kinder he became, the more invisible he felt. People stopped thanking him. Now they simply expected him to sacrifice himself. Then one day, a young monk accidentally broke an expensive bowl. Everyone froze. Before anyone could speak, the little monk stepped forward. "It was my fault." He lied, and he expected gratitude. Instead, the young monk said nothing, not even thank you. But the old monk noticed. For the first time, he stopped walking. He looked directly into the little monk's eyes. Then he said one word. "Liar." And he left. That single word destroyed him. Liar? How could helping someone be a lie? He spent days trying to understand. He began watching the old monk, following him, copying the way he meditated, the way he walked, the way he ate, even the way he smiled. Nothing changed. The old monk still ignored him. And slowly a new thought crept in. What if he hates me? That thought became unbearable. Finally, he gathered enough courage to kneel before the old monk. "I'm sorry," he said. "If I've offended you, please tell me how I can become better." The old monk finally smiled, and for a moment the little monk felt relief. This was it, the answer he'd been waiting for. Instead, the old monk asked him a question. "Do you even know who you are?" Silence. When nobody needs you, who are you? The little monk had no answer. The old monk gave him one task. For 7 days, stop helping people. The little monk laughed. "That's easy," he said. It wasn't. The very next morning, someone asked him to carry water. "No." His voice shook. Another asked him to switch chores. "No." Someone rolled their eyes. "So you've changed." The little monk walked away, his chest tight, his hands shaking. He was certain everyone now hated him. That night he cried alone, not because people had rejected him, but because he didn't know who he was if nobody needed him. On the 4th day, something unexpected happened. One monk started carrying his own water. Another cleaned the kitchen himself. A third apologized. "I've been taking advantage of you." He never expected that, but not everyone changed. Some grew colder, some stopped talking to him altogether. And strangely, that hurt less than before. On the 7th evening, the old monk finally sat beside him. "You've been asking why I ignored you," he said. The little monk nodded. "Because every conversation with you was with a mask. You smiled when you wanted to scream. You agreed when you wanted to refuse. You apologized when you weren't sorry. You never let anyone meet you. They only met the person you thought they would love." The little monk whispered, "So nobody ever loved me?" The old monk replied gently, "No, they loved the mask." The little monk began to cry, not because he felt rejected, but because for the first time, he realized he had spent his whole life trying to become lovable instead of simply becoming honest. Months later, he still helps people, he still smiles, he still shares his food. But sometimes he says no. Sometimes he disappoints people. Sometimes he chooses himself. And for the first time in his life, when someone smiles back at him, he no longer wonders if they love the mask, because there isn't one anymore. Maybe the loneliest people aren't the ones nobody loves. Maybe they're the ones who never let anyone meet the real them.